Good afternoon and welcome to this week's issue of Print21, the weekly TV news bulletin for the print industry, brought to you by Print21.com.au. My name is Wayne Robinson. This week's issue sponsored by Ricoh. Imagine change. This week we're outside a local shopping centre because Woolworths, one of the major retailers, grocers in the country, is stopping the printing of part of its catalogues. Woolworths, one of the biggest catalogue printers in the country, prints 7 million a week. 1.5 million of those catalogues are now on hold, while it experiments with digital only in what it calls the digital savvy areas. So in areas where it's already receiving a major uptick from its digital apps and from its website, it will no longer be printing and distributing the catalogue. It's a 12-week experiment, and after that it will make a decision one way or the other. This comes on the back of Coles stopping its printed catalogue entirely back in September. 7 million copies, 10,000 tonnes of paper a year printed by Ive is off. Woolworths catalogue is printed by Ovato, and tomorrow in Print21 news website will reveal another major high street retailer that is stopping its catalogues entirely. A concerning trend, and one that's left the print industry scratching its head, because all the research from Roy Morgan, other reputable people, agencies, says clearly, unequivocally, that catalogues produce the best level of engagement, of connection and of response for retailers. The most successful catalogue in the country, Aldi, is successful because it has a strong level of response. Watch this space. Also in the news this week from the large format world, two major stories. First of all, in Adelaide, Big Image suffered a devastating fire over Christmas, wiped out the factory, $2 million worth of hardware and stock equipment destroyed. Fortunately, owner Carlo Capo-Greco reports that the print industry has rallied round. Big Image is now trading again, is supplying again, is working from temporary premises and is working to get back up to full speed in new premises as soon as possible. So best wishes to Carlo and the team down there, and well done to the whole industry. Not such good news from the wide format world comes from Melbourne, where John Dupluck's Magnify Media is in administration with debts rapidly approaching $5 million. $1.1 million to employees, including $500,000 in super, $1.2 million to the ATO, and $3.6 million in unsecured creditors. Business in administration. The business Magnify Media established 20 years ago. 10 years ago as a rising star installing big HP Cytex machines every year. 2 years ago, though, it suffered a really big flood, devastating flood, forced the business to move, and it's never really been the same since. Also in the news this week, Print21 is reporting that outdoor media, which of course is a major part of the Magnify Media business, suffered a 40% drop last year in a COVID year for obvious reasons. Those sports, entertainment, retail, outdoor media, display media, particularly in Victoria, devastated, and businesses are obviously suffering the consequences of that. In related news, exhibitions though are back on the agenda. PacPrint, all systems go for the September 28th kickoff there, and the government has just decided it will chip in, or it will invite exhibitors to bid for a 50% cut in all their costs, which is great news. All the other major global exhibitions are also rescheduled for September, October. Label Expo, FESPA, Print in the US. Whether we'll be able to go is a moot point, but certainly for PacPrint, it's all systems go. One area that didn't suffer during COVID was packaging. Amcor has just revealed that its profits are up by 65% in COVID, due entirely, or not entirely, but mainly to the stay-at-home consumption of food, beverage and household products. Finally this week, one of the industry's longest-serving and well-known identities, David Currie, has announced that after 51 years with the company, he is stepping back from his role as executive chairman. David tells us he's not retiring, he'll still be chairman, still be involved, but he won't be involved so much in the day-to-day activities. Rob Massaris will take over as CEO, will become CEO, stepping up. Currie has just signed up EFI to add to its growing portfolio of products. David Currie started in the business in 1969, 20 years after his father founded it. At the time it was a print engineering company. He went on to develop as major sales, support and distribution business, bringing in Shinohara presses, 507 of them sold over 3 decades, and later of course HP Indigo, Horizon and other leading products. So best wishes to David. We know he's not retiring, we'll still see him around, but a large number of print businesses across Australia and New Zealand will know him personally and will have built their businesses around equipment supplied by Currie. That's it for this week's issue of Print21. Go to print21.com.au for all these stories and more in details. Me, Wayne Robinson, signing off. Thanks to our sponsor Ricoh. Imagine change.